Good morning, everybody. Welcome once again to BTL Bass Talk Live, where we're going to talk bass fishing and anything else that I or Matthew want to talk about here on a Thursday. Christmas closing in, Matt, and pretty cool show today. We've got an Elite Series rookie, Harvey Horn, on the show, and then we're going to talk to Mr. AFTCO Boot Camp, John Zolea, about his experience this year. But I want to kick off the show real quick. Yesterday was really cool, man. All right. Now, I have not had the opportunity to experience what I did yesterday. I did at a lower level, but not at this level. For the first time since 1979. How many years ago is that?
39 years.
You're really good with math. I appreciate that. So, for the first time since 1979, the school that I teach at and coach at had their first Division I National Signing Day player that is going to attend the University of Nebraska.
Football.
First time since 1979. He's a stud. He's a wide receiver. His name's Jamie Nance. Will be attending the University of Nebraska, is actually graduating early. Super smart kid. Had him in my media class. And Nebraska had part of their coaching staff in attendance, an enormous amount of people there. He didn't do the hat thing because the cool thing about it, Matthew, was one of those deals everybody knew that his decision was made.
He was sold on Scott Frost and the program that he's
long time ago,
over there.
Since June. Long time. It wasn't the hat thing. You know, it was very, very, very cool.
Yesterday was early signing day for college.
Yeah.
Jeffries and I, obviously big Oklahoma fans, so we pay attention to it. And I couldn't help comparing that with the 2-week period that we had a month or two ago where, you know, you're sitting there, the guys are making their decisions. MLF, FLW, BASS.
Yeah.
Very reminiscent of that. Because you know somewhere there's people sitting in a room going, I hope he goes MLF. I hope he goes BASS.
Well, I'm going to bring it up again, but, you know, I've done it on a smaller scale, obviously, with my son signing a Division II scholarship. But it was really cool. Mm-hmm. It was really, really neat to see the buy-in, the emotion, the family. And the kid has worked his tail off to get where he is. He's not that big. He's only 6'1", maybe 160, 165 pounds, but that's part of the reason why he's going up there early.
I was talking to Kurt Dove yesterday. Obviously, you know, he has that the Kurt Dove Pro Bass Camp every year that I go down and help with at Amistad, and one of the kids from 3-4 years ago, I remember him, is like one of the, I think ESPN has him ranked number 40 on quarterbacks in this year's class. He had an offer from Rutgers, Michigan State's looking at him, all the Ivy Leagues, all the Ivy Leagues.
Yeah.
And
can you name an Ivy League school?
I want to say Yale, Brown, Harvard,
you're good.
Pepperdine.
Not Pepperdine.
No.
Rutgers. Not Rutgers, but
no,
you got a few right there. That's
but
cool.
Anyway, that's cool that he was fishing. He's like a 6'5" quarterback, and I remember the kid.
I'm going to bring it up, and I think we brought it up years ago, but I'm going to bring it up again. This time of the year kind of is obviously a little different with everything that's taking place.
It's
with the
still
three
pretty
tours.
boring. I mean, Kevin Van Dam's posting visits with Santa Claus on his Instagram. There's not much going on right now.
But would it be cool in fishing if we had a national signing day to where there's one day where all the guys announce any changes to their sponsor lineup, any changes in trails, or I don't know.
It benefits to spread that out. That way every guy gets their day in the sun instead of just 8 million press releases all at once.
Well, I don't think it's that many. I think you're blowing that out of proportion. Think about it, guys. There's only how many MLF guys?
80.
Okay, there's 80.
What, 750, 300.
Yeah. Each tour could have their national signing day.
There you go.
Where they give the guys the exposure that they've
I like it. And with
earned.
the Elite Series doing all their stuff now, heck, you could come in and they could set up the green screen and you go in there and do your announcements.
I think it would be cool. Now, here's my next question on that. Do you think the general fan and even the ultimate fan, the hardcore fan, is really interested in who Angler XYZ is going to be representing on tour?
Absolutely. I think there's a lot of brand loyalty. I know I have buddies back in Illinois who were fans of Skeet Reese because he used to run a champion and they had a champion. They were a fan of John Bondi when he was on tour because he ran a champion. And Mike McClellan, those were their guys because they had champions back in the day. Or, you use a specific rod or you have something that you really like. I mean, I know Toyota's big like that. A lot of the guys love Swindle or love Ike and stuff because they run the Toyota.
So you think that that all three of the tours could have their national signing
day? I think
day?
so. Not on different days, I think that would be cool. And then you could also do your individual thing. It's funny, we mentioned this. Zach Burge just came out. He's been with Falcon, an Oklahoma-based company.
Long time.
He just signed up with a Favorite. And I was looking down the list, Favorite. I mean, and I think all these guys are still with them or not, but I mean, they got Andy Morgan, Mark Daniels Jr. I think there's a couple more announcements coming. David Dudley. They got all those guys in the Guggen squad with the 500,000 YouTube followers. Roland Martin, Brian Latimer, and now Zach Burge. He said it was, quote, a business decision. Still loves Falcon. But said he was a business
what's
decision.
the underlying message there with that comment?
The Favorite came with a little green.
Exactly. It's all about money. I've said that since day one. Most of the time, it's about the financial rewards of decisions that are made by the products that these guys represent.
So good on him, man. He's a dude in his 20s who's making moves and cashing checks. And now he's going to be
big year for him.
Catch the most fish in an 8-hour period.
Yeah. Big year for him. Big year for a lot of those guys that have made the move over there, the younger guys. Mm-hmm. All right. Would you say he's a big name guy?
He's getting yes.
Why is that?
He's won the Costa Championship. He's done well on MLF. He's done well in the Opens. He's done well in the Forest Wood Cup. He was the FLW Tour Rookie of the Year. He's won a Costa on Grand. I think in his circle of people who follow,
his sphere of influence,
I think, is widening. I mean, dude, I'll be honest. He was that kid who was 16 who came to the BFLs and everybody's like, this dude's boat matches his shoes and his underwear and his hat and his shirt and he's always got the shiny truck and you're like, man. But the guy started catching him, and he started winning, and he started climbing the ranks. He won the college national championship. I think he has influence now, not only in fishing but also in the hunting world. But I think his upside is immeasurable.
All right. The other thing I want to mention real quick, and dude, I'm giving you props on this. I think you're dead on. In previous shows, I think it was last week, we talked about the end of the year awards show. Mm-hmm. The more and more I think about that, and the more and more I look at the number of guys that are going to be spread out on all three tours. If there was ever a time to showcase pure performance and stuff that happens on and off the water from a community standpoint, from like any other professional sport, there needs to be a year-end awards ceremony, presentation, banquet, whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. I think we're at the point in this game that the award ceremony and the end of the year recognition of these guys needs to happen. Those three parties need to come together.
Do you not think it could maybe serve as a little bit of the healing process, so to speak?
Yes.
Bring them all together.
I mean, they do that in the Hall of Fame, but it's totally different.
At the end of the day, you got guys in three different tours who John Cruz said are pissed off at each other.
Yeah.
But in the end of the day, they're all going out trying to catch a green fish, make a living doing this. And they've all been friends and they all will
And here's
be friends
the deal.
in the
This is the other thing that I thought. It needs to be somebody that is independent. It does not need to be somebody involved or a group of people involved with any of the three organizations
that puts this on.
Yes. It needs to be truly independent, because you don't want anybody to say, oh, well, they were just influenced by this or they were influenced by this.
Well, you have a whole bunch of voting. You send it out like the Heisman ballots, basically. You have a sportsmanship, a conservation award, the overall angler of the year, the best moment.
Yeah.
The whole 9 yards. You got 6 or 7 of them.
Yeah. All right, real quick. It's funny that Derek in North Carolina will throw this up on the instant feedback. He said, hey, guys, is one-on-one live still going on? What's the status?
Oh, I just got an email from you the other day.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and say this.
I went, oh, that's solid.
All right, kind of a tease. Our very first one that we have planned for 2019 is going to take place on, I believe, March 20th. Is that the right day?
Somewhere right around after the Classic.
It's the Wednesday after the Classic. It's going to take place on Lake Guntersville between two guys on Lake Guntersville. It's going to be Gerald Swindle versus who?
There's about 9 guys you could name right here.
Jordan Lee. All right. Jordan Lee versus Gerald Swindle, our first one-on-one live. Going to take place on March 20th.
Swindle's cameraman versus Strader. I don't think he'll let me back in the boat after that butt whipping that he got. I mean, he blamed that one on me and my mojo, so I'll probably be in the boat with Joe Lee then.
Yeah, so real quick, we are planning a total of 6 one-on-one lives for 2019. Also, big announcement coming in January with the involvement of one particular company that is coming on board for 2019 with BTL, with the Bass Zone and everything that we do. It is going to rock, all right? I know it's a tease, send me hate mail, whatever, but what it's going to do is it's going to give the weekend guy an opportunity to showcase what they can do on the water. But at the same time, they're going to get some product and they're going to get an opportunity to win $2,500.
Sounds familiar. We got to get to Harvey Horn. We got a full show.
Right.
I told him we'd have him on about 3 minutes ago, so he's standing by his Skype machine.
I wanted to address that since you threw it out.
That's the dreaded big announcement coming soon.
No, I said Swindle versus...
No, the other thing.
Lee. Yeah, but that had nothing to do with his comment. I was just throwing that out there.
But it was still a big announcement coming soon. I hate those.
Well, I kind of announced it a little bit.
If you've been following it, and you know we introduced it last year with success.
Yeah.
Fish catching kind of sucked, but we can change that.
Multiple companies involved with the one-on-one live lake challenge. All right, we're going to take a break. Come back with Mr. Harvey Horn, Elite Series angler. I think he would thought he'd have that title about 12 months ago from now.
Yeah, because he qualified in 2017 but didn't fish in 2018.
Oh, really?
Last year, yeah. I had not personally talked to the guy.
Yeah.
I called him up. We talked for 45 minutes yesterday. He's got some good stories.
All right.
I made little check marks. I said, you got to talk about that one. You got to talk about that one. You got to tell this story. So I got him down.
All right, let's take a break. Come back with Harvey. Everybody stay tuned.
Sleek new design with easy control file. The clearest images underwater with uncompromising range. Live mapping from the touchscreen. View notifications, video, even Google Maps on screen. And for the first time ever, real-time view of fish movements with live sight sonar. HDS Live. New from Lowrance.
Jacob Wheeler and Tommy Biffle have a lot in common.
Flat bill.
The perfect shape.
You gotta love some light tackle.
I know I have a spinning rod.
I love my hammer crawl.
Biffle bug.
Rigged
On a hardhead.
Well, they could be twins. Bifflebug, Hammer Crawl, Hardhead, from Gene LaRue.
Let me help you, man.
Let me help that hat.
Whoa.
There you go. I already look better.
Pros depend on hydraulic jack plates to get the best out of their boats. Do what they do. Demand Atlas performance. Atlas gets you from the bottom to the top in less than 8 seconds, even with the big 4-strokes. And when you gotta turn right around and get that heavy load back up in rough water, Atlas's innovative design and American-made components will get you there with confidence.
I'm at Depot. Just look for yourself. There's an Atlas jack plate on just about every professional's boat.
The Atlas hydraulic jack plate. You can depend on it.
My rods look different because they are different. Every rod is built by the pros and for the pros. When you pick up a white Duffet fishing rod, you're getting a cutting-edge rod, one that's truly pro-driven with the actions you need for every bait category you fish. I put my name on it. It's my promise to build you a great rod you can count on.
Duck It Fishing, Micro Magic, Macro Magic, or White Ice.
Try them. They work.
Man, I am so excited to be joining the AFTCO Pro staff. They got some really cool, innovative products to help you have a more enjoyable, comfortable day while you're out there on the water. Really stylish, great functional clothing. You're gonna love it. The thing I'm most excited about though is AFTCO has pledged to donate 10% of their total profits back to supporting the conservation of our fisheries. And I am all about supporting a company that's about supporting conservation so that we can enjoy our bass fishing for a long time. Check us out, AFTCO.
When I talk about Sunline, I think of one word: confidence.
Sunline FX2 is what I use for all of my frogging and flipping.
S61 braid, which braid plays a big part in fishing line.
Shooter, I'm going to use in those close quarter deals like flipping and pitching.
One of my favorite techniques in fishing the tournament trail is to fish offshore ledges.
We have taken the questions out of the equation.
Take my word for it. It works. It works, dude.
All right, welcome back, Mark and Matthew in studio on a Thursday. And dude, I got a little shopping done last night. Just a little bit.
Internet shopping, or did you actually go to the store?
I went to the stores, man. I battled. I went to battle. There's a lot of people out.
Zales was crowded.
I didn't go to Zales, man. I don't shop at Zales. I have nothing to buy at Zales. I've done that years ago, and it wasn't Zales.
Appreciation diamonds?
No diamonds this year. Have no need for them. All right, anyway, good show today. We mentioned in our first segment, we're going to have Harvey Horn on here just in a few minutes, and then John Zolea in our second segment. But kind of excited to talk to this guy, Elite Series rookie. A lot going on, and they're going to get after it pretty soon, Matthew.
Has fished at pretty much every level you can. Club, nation, BFLs, co-angler, open co-angler, opens, the whole 9 yards. He's done it, and he went to the Arkansas River. Not an easy place to fish.
No.
I have fished 3 tournaments there and have yet to weigh in more than 2.
Shocking.
He led it wire to wire and won, and then finished 13th in the Central Opens. Got an interesting invite. We'll let him tell that story.
All right, let's do this. Let's bring him in. Harvey, you there, man?
Yeah, man. Good morning.
How are you, man? Thanks for taking time out. I know it's a busy time of the year with the holidays, but man, you have to be quite excited to get the opportunity that's headed toward your way in 2019 on being part of the Elite Series field.
You got it, man. We're still pretty jacked up around here. The whole family, we're all excited. You know, I had a meeting with the great people down at Express Boats yesterday, and what they're doing with us this year is absolutely amazing. You know, they've went above and beyond anything I could have ever imagined, and their support is going to be instrumental in what we're able to do this year. Just just the boat itself is a great platform to work off of. The hyperlift hull, the safety features that are built into the hull of that boat are just, man, it's just amazing. You would literally have to watch the building process to be able to really understand what they put into their great products from there. And I just can't tell you how excited I am to be running one of their boats again this coming year on the Elite Series.
Cool.
You know what I'm looking forward to, Harvey? I'm looking forward to that Express Boats press release. because we have done an entire segment on the Express Boats press release. That is some high wordage there. I pulled up Skylar Hamilton's used the term epic paradigm shift, ecstatic. When you see the press release for all these guys that are running, Dale Hightower's running one too, read it. It's worth the read. They're well written.
Oh yeah, they put a lot of thought into their verbiage, so you can tell that somebody with a little bit more education than myself is actually the one doing the typing on that.
All right, I want you to tell the story of how you found out you were invited to fish the Elite Series in 2019, because I guess in hindsight it's kind of humorous. I'm sure you weren't laughing at the time.
Well, there had been rumors, of course, for a lot of people, and I had spoken to a couple other guys that were fishing the Opens Championship, and all of them's like, "Man, why hadn't you got your invite?" I don't know. I didn't know I was going to get an invite. And about a week prior to the Opens Championship practice, I was eating lunch in the local pizza joint here in Bella Vista, Gusano's, and I get a text from Chris Bowes. It's like, "Hey, did you get your Elite Series invite?" I replied, "No, I did not." Well, about 20 minutes goes by, I get another text from him, says, "Check your email. I had your email address wrong." So, of course, I'm like, "Are you serious right now?" And open my email, and of course, I'm eating lunch. I have to call the wife, and I'm like, "Hey, there's been a development." She's like, "What's going on? What did you do now?" Well, it looks like we're going to be fishing the Elite Series next year, and of course, she was all excited, and it's been, last year we qualified through the Opens, finished second in points to Roy Hawk. Made some great friends. Derek Hudnall, he's been instrumental in helping me do some different things social media wise, kind of learning from his example. And, we didn't get to go last year. Things happened that were beyond our control, and really hindsight being 2020, everything worked out the right way. So this year we're working a lot harder on the partnerships. I know you were talking about the National Signing Day. We're closing up everything right now with Humminbird Minn Kota. Looking forward to running their products this year. Their new mega down imaging that's built into the trolling motor is going to be a great asset. The 360 imaging is going to be a great asset. And it's just an exciting time for me and my family and the friends that I have to be able to go out and compete on that stage.
Hang on, I have a follow-up question. Is this going to be your full-time gig, Harvey, or do you have a company? Do you do anything else on the side, or are you going to focus 100% on the Elite Series now?
I'm still I've actually worked part-time at a tackle store, the Hook, Line, and Sinker Outdoors. I've been working part-time for those guys for about 8 years now. And if I'm available and they need me, I'm going to continue to work there. It's not about the money for me. It's about making those connections, helping anglers catch more fish, and that's what it's always been about for me. Is not only am I a student of the game, I hope that I can be a teacher also. And that's just something that I enjoy doing. They have an archery side, and I've got a bow and I like to shoot bows, like to archery hunt. So that's just kind of part of what I've been doing for a long time, and I'll continue to work there as long as I can.
It seems like learning's very important to you, because you even marshaled a couple years ago, didn't you?
Yeah, I was actually I was a marshal both times the Elite Series had the Classic at Grant. And the first time I was there, I was Boyd Duckett's marshal on the last day. The last time they were there, I marshaled for Bernie Schultz and AFTCO. Some great people. It was a great experience. I would definitely recommend being a marshal at one of the Elite Series events, or the Bass Fest, or anytime you get an opportunity. I still say those guys, because until Mercer calls my name and my boat number that first day down in Florida, that's when it's going to be real for me. So to get out there on the water and learn from the people that do this for a living, it's a great experience, and I would recommend it to anybody.
What is your marshal? Does he get the hang-on hair? I mean, are you one of those, like, you think Bill Lowen run the Express as far up as he can in the creeks, crashing through stuff, getting up in the shallow water? Are you one of those guys who will go wherever you can get that rig?
That's correct. I actually had the guy that's getting the Express boat that I ran the last 2 years. He was my co-angler partner. We signed up together to fish the Opens last year, and we absolutely got some great video of me running through the marsh down at Sabine River. And just the capabilities of those boats are absolutely amazing.
You ever run an aluminum, Mark?
No, I've been in a couple, and I really liked it. I've been in some of the bigger ones.
But back in your day, you didn't start out?
No, I had an old, I don't know, it was like a 1980. It was one of the first nitros that came out.
That was your first ride?
Yeah. It was tiny, and I think it had a 90 horse on it.
There you go.
Yeah.
There's a really good article on you on Bassmaster that Mark Hicks wrote back in 2017, I think, after you qualified for the Elite Series the first time. And he's talking about kind of the 10-year plan that you had. But I thought it was interesting. You had actually talked to Ray Scott, and he talked about this in the article. And you said, hey, what advice would you give me if I want to become a professional angler? And Ray's advice was take your time. Just
That's
kind of
right.
explain what that meant.
I really took that to heart at that time. We literally, my wife was still pregnant with my son. He's 11 years old now. And where I started, I started in the Bass Nation clubs. I started fishing the little jackpots. That's where I got my start is I cut my teeth in the Bass Nation. I did fish a few BFLs through the years. But the Bass Nation was my training ground, so to speak. And that's another thing that I would definitely recommend to anybody that's starting out. Find your local Bass Nation club, get involved. They're involved with the communities, with the kids. I've always helped out with the youth state tournaments. And it's been a great experience for me. Like I said earlier, I learned as much from those high school kids and those juniors as I was able to teach them. One of the things that we've been programmed to do is we cast a bait out, we've got a certain way we retrieve it because that's the way we were taught to retrieve it. Well, watching those kids do different things and still catch fish on something that I would consider, well, that's maybe not right for me. But now that I'm watching this 16-year-old catch 5-pounders, reeling a square bill like a wake bait. There's just things like that. Well, maybe I need to pay a little bit more attention and learn from them as well as trying to teach them.
That's a great point. I watched a kid catch 16 pounds dead sticking a whopper plopper in the front of my boat this year. He was catching them 2 at a time. He caught a 4-pounder and a 3-pounder. The thing's just been sitting there for 20 seconds. He's like, you got to really creep it. I'm like, I'm taking notes in the back.
Wow. Harvey, I'm really curious. What are one or two things that are really important to you in 2019 to have a successful 2019 season?
For me to have a successful season, we're down to a 75 boat field. I just want to be in the top 50%, the 37th place or above. That would make it a successful season for me as far as end of the year. You know, I've been wanting to qualify for the Bassmasters Classic ever since I watched Brian Kirchhoff win the Classic way back when. That was the catalyst that really lit the fire to get me on the trail, the direction that I'm on right now, with the help that I've received from different people through the years. That's the thing that really set me on the path that I'm on.
Are you a hardcore practice guy? I mean, is it daylight to dark?
You know, I've went both ways through the last 2 years. With, you know, say the Sabine River, it was daylight till dark every day that I was down there. Where in the same token, we went to Table Rock this year, and being Table Rock, it's a lake that I'm really familiar with. I really had to kind of pick and choose when I went. The local pressure started to show up because we had other tournaments right during the Opens Championship, so a lot of the local guys were out there also. And I was really, really careful about when I was out on the water. Didn't mean I spent less time. It just meant I spent less time fishing those exact spots that I wanted to be on. It didn't quite work out for me the way I wanted to, but, you know, to finish 13th in points against the class of anglers that fished the Opens was pretty great accomplishment to me. And if I can just kind of maintain what I've done the last 2 years and carry that on into the Elite Series, I think I'll have a great career.
Awesome.
You said your boat's in the shop. You're working on everything for next season. When do you think you'll have everything wrapped up and ready to roll, where the only thing to do will be to drive to Florida?
We'll actually leave out February 1st to Florida. I hope to have everything on the boat ready to go, you know, break-in time on the motor, probably around the 20th of January. So there's going to be some cold boat rides in my future.
All right. Well, Harvey, man, we wish you the best in 2019. I'm excited. I think this is going to be the most interesting Rookie of the Year race in the history of the Elite Series, with so many new faces, a lot of new faces with a lot of experience, but obviously not at the Elite Series level. So wish you the best, man. Happy holidays. Enjoy your break before you get after it in 2019.
You know, thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. I've been a loyal fan for probably a couple months now. And I look forward to the information that you guys give us every week, and I really appreciate all y'all do.
All right, man. Good luck to you. Have a good holiday. We'll talk to you soon.
Y'all too, man. You'll have a good one.
All right. There you have it. Sounds pretty fired up. Good guy. I think based upon his style and based upon his success that he's had in the Opens, the schedule might set up pretty well for him, Matthew.
Will there be, they're going with live,
a
lot more cameras. Will there be a time where all 4 Express Aluminums are in the same backwater this year? It's a legit question. I mean, before you had Rick Clutter run the DV, Brian Snowden's run the DV, Steve Kennedy, back before they admitted, he's run one every now and then, but really it was, Skylar Hamilton and then Bill Lowen, and we were talking about, are they going to be in the same stuff? You've got guys that are kind of like-minded. Obviously, we know how Dale Hightower fishes, being from Oklahoma. I think you're going to see some times where you might see some Expresses rubbing rub rails.
Never thought about that, but that's a great point. Hey, by the way, we're going to get to John Zeolla here in just a few minutes. We're going to have him live via Skype, too. I'm going to get that set up. We mentioned National Signing Day, and I was going to have this queued up, and I just totally forgot about it until Harvey mentioned it. Dude, you know who the scariest coach in college football is? No doubt.
Saban?
No. Heavens, no.
Ed Ogeron?
The dude at LSU.
Ogeron.
Oh, my gosh. Did you see that news clip from his press conference?
Yeah, he's a legend already.
There were guys goofing around in the facility that he was in. Did you see that yesterday?
No.
I'm going to try and get it queued up. I'll see if I can find it. That man scares me.
Fort Gibson. Fort Gibson,
Yeah.
you're going to have a lot of expresses in the same spots.
Yeah.
Fair point.
Yeah.
Lake Fork could be interesting for an aluminum. I don't really know. Are there...
Yeah, there's places you can get into.
In May?
What time
Well,
of the year?
it's May,
What time of the
though.
year?
It's May.
Oh, no, that's going to be a cranking thing.
Winyah Bay? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Lake Hartwell? Absolutely. Especially in April
Yeah.
4th through 7th. We've seen how shallow they can get there.
Yeah.
St. John's River? Absolutely. And then they'll drift around on the St. Lawrence for a while.
All right.
Guntersville? Absolutely.
I'm trying to see if I can get John dialed in here. Let's see what we got.
Without taking a break?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and I think I got him here. It looks like he's driving.
Yeah, he said he'd be on his way to work.
That's important.
It is.
That is important. So let's see here. I'm looking. I gotta.
Now, I told him we were bringing him in on. I
multitask.
told him we were bringing him in on a break, so we need to cue him up so he knows he's hot off the press.
All right, we're bringing you in hot, John. He's good. He's good with that.
All right.
All right, we can't hear him yet. Let's see if I can get him queued up. All right, John, you there, man?
I'm here. I can hear you.
All right, very good. You are hot. We're live right now. I'm going to get the shot queued up here real quick.
John Zeolla's 2018 AFTCO. You know, AFTCO got into the freshwater program. They did this thing called AFTCO Bass Boot Camp. Take a guy, pay for his entry fees, trying to make the Elite Series of the tour. And John did it last year, Eastern Opens. Had two really good final tournaments, almost really made things interesting. Finished in the way top half of the field, like 50th, but filmed it all, like every day, the travel, the journey and stuff. So now it's over with. The season's over with. And what are you up to now?
Right now, I'm just getting prepped for next season because I'm going to stay local this year. I'm going to fish all the western coastas. But as of now, I'm doing a lot of filming. I'm trying to get the filming in before all the BPT guys go out east and go to Florida. So I actually just finished up a film trip with AFTCO and Tackle Warehouse up at Clear Lake with Jared Littner, which was super cool, super fun.
How'd you get into all this? How did you get into the filming stuff? Because, I mean, outside, I know Scott Martin's guy who does it. He, like, actually went to, like, film school. Brandon did. But there's, like, a handful, and it's almost like there's, like, the West Coast style of fishing videos, too. Now they're starting to develop, you guys, like, your own style of how you cover fishing and then East Coast. But how did you get into the whole thing as far as wanting to capture it and not just fish?
Well, basically, I do a lot of snowboarding, and I love going on YouTube and watching snowboarding videos, surfing videos, all like creative style edits. And fishing to me was like lacking, bass fishing to be specific, because if you look at fly fishing, they've got tons of cool videos. And then what happened was I decided to fish the Bassmaster Central Opens the year before, so 2016. And my buddy Pat was fishing as a pro, so I was like, hey, I'm going to fish as a co, and I'm going to buy a camera, and I'm just going to try this filming thing. And basically, I've just watched tons and tons of YouTube videos and taught myself how to film and kind of just wung the whole thing. And turns out that, like, I kind of, at least my mom says, I have an eye for the shot. So,
No, you do. You do good.
Kind of just winging it. And it's kind of blossomed into something that I think the industry is really moving towards. And I've been trying to concentrate a lot more on it just because I can see it as being a major benefit as far as me being a tournament angler and going out there and being able to produce my own content. And obviously with AFTCO, that was an incredible opportunity, and it was really hard. It was one of the toughest things I've ever done. Like, practicing for a tournament is probably hard enough, and then trying to keep the storyline going and getting the shot, I was a mess. I would be a mess without my buddy Pat and Austin there helping me out and kind of dialing me in on what the fish were actually doing, because it was tough.
You can go over to AFTCO's YouTube page and watch all of them, and you did a great job, but it seemed like you got a lot of flat tires. I'll just come out and say it right now. It seemed like about every 3 minutes of the show, there was another tire blowout. What was up with that?
Well, driving that far, what's super weird is, like, our trailers have always had issues, and I don't know why, because we both have, like, newer kind of Rangers, 2015, 2016, and every trip we went through at least 2 tires. And that was like always a thing, was before we left, we're like, all right, we got to get all new tires, make sure everything's all dialed in. But it never failed. It never failed. Like Champlain, my buddy Pat blew a tire, we fixed it, and then we drove for literally 10 minutes, and he blew another one right away. And we're like, all right, we're out of spares. We got another day and a half of driving. And so, yeah, it was brutal. It was funny. It was just like, we're just waiting every time we're driving. We're like, all right, when are we going to blow time?
Can I ask one surfing question? Are you surfing? Okay. I watched this documentary. I'm really into the documentaries now because of the media class about surfing in, I believe it was Portugal. Is that correct? Where the dude broke the record on the world's highest wave that had been surfed, and they ended up moving there. And a lot of times they have to take the guys out on jet skis or something like that to get them in position to ride these massive waves. Is that correct?
Yeah. Because what they have to do is they have to get on the jet ski and get them to hit that wave before it starts cresting, because they're so big. If you're to just try and paddle in, you're going to get just totally just destroyed.
It was Portugal. It was Portugal, right?
Yeah, Portugal. I think I've seen the video. I don't know the exact name of it, but I've seen the people sitting on the cliff and everybody's watching. You're like, dude, Jesus, that thing is huge. Looks like a tsunami. It's crazy. These people, those guys are.
We compare everything to fishing, so I'll go ahead and bite. Are there any similarities between surfing and tournament bass fishing?
There are some, and I think it's starting to transition. The vision that I want to bring to bass fishing is it's everybody's like, yeah, I'm a bass fisherman. I'm this hardcore dude. It's dude, there's so much art and so many things that go into bass fishing that makes every guy unique. That's a pro. And surfing's there, free surfing. They're oh yeah, Clay Marzo, dude, that guy's got the best cuts. Or snowboarding, guys will throw out really tricked out tricks. And for example, Jared Littner, he's a flipper. He'll flip. But it's dude, there's an art to that. And I feel people don't really portray it as that. They kind of just oh yeah, he grounded, he was flipping, it was really cool. He just grounded out and got it. It's just there's gonna be this. I feel the Western guys are at least kind of transitioning to it, where that's gonna be something that gets talked about a little bit more.
John,
the big K guys, all that kind of stuff.
John, if you've fished with Mark Jeffries, you will know that there is absolutely zero art to his game. It is just a giant man hunched over,
chucking away,
just chucking a Carolina rig where there used to be grass 6 summers ago.
Greg.
I mean, and if they ain't there in 20 minutes, boats on the trailer, they ain't biting.
It is not that bad.
I don't think you could do an artistic episode of Jeffries.
That's pretty funny. That's really funny.
All right, so what did you learn over this whole experience? You went across the country 4 or 5 times. I know you fished a bunch of different, from Florida up to Douglas, which is the water fluctuates all over there, then up to Champlain with the smallmouth. Are you a better angler now, even though you didn't reach your ultimate goal of making the Elite Series?
Yeah, I think that what it's taught me is more from a tournament angler standpoint, because out in the West Coast, a lot of those techniques that people were doing weren't really that different for me, except for say ledge fishing, which never ended up happening out at Douglas. But what it really taught me was the need to just fish off the seat of your pants. And I know that everybody talks about that, but dude, it's so hard to do. But every tournament that I did well, or decently well, was the first day I overthought it. And I was all right, dude, this is what I figured out, I gotta go do this. And I did horrible. And then the next day I'd go out and I'd just go fishing and I'd have a little redemption bag. And it just kind of sucked that it always took me to learn the hard way for me to do that and just go fishing. But at Champlain was probably my favorite, where I chased the smallmouth on day 1, thinking oh, I got to go up to Miscoy Bay, I got to do all this stuff. And I just got punked. And then day 2, I was all right, dude, you got to stop being a wuss, and you're going to make this 70-mile run down to Ty and go fish for largies. And I just approached it the Delta and had a blast and caught I think almost 18 pounds. So that's the biggest takeaway, is just fishing off the seat of your pants. And all those guys are so good at that fish at that top level. And that's what really separates them. The more I film with them or hang out with them, I just see how those guys are just machines, and they'll just go out, and if they had a plan, they don't need to necessarily stick to it, which is easier said than done.
Cool. You can see a bunch of his stuff. I know, well, you've done stuff with Carl Johnson, with a bunch of other FLW Tour guys. Fished the FLW Tour as a co-angler this past year too. But you also, if I remember last time when we had you on at the beginning of the year, you do like granite. Is that right?
Yeah, I do marble and granite installation in like some of the nicest houses. Like right now I'm actually sitting outside of Seth MacFarlane's house, if you guys know who that is.
Really?
Yeah. We're doing his outdoor pool. It's all this like custom tile. I've actually been in Vegas. I've been in Vegas for 3 months right now working on the owner of the Vegas Knights, if you guys follow hockey.
Heck yeah, I played hockey.
Yeah. So it's really tough work though. I don't like it, but it pays well. It's really grueling. Like, dude, yesterday I carried probably 2 pallets of cement up 3 flights of stairs all day.
Wow.
And so, yeah, I'm just working hard and not really enjoying it, but it's teaching me work ethic, I think, at least.
That's a good thing.
Hey, you got to wrap it up. We got a Seth MacFarlane name drop in a bass fishing interview at Vegas Golden Knights hockey.
Yeah.
We do a lot of really nice houses, and honestly, dude, I hate LA. I'll just come out and say it, but I don't know anywhere else where people would pay a lot of money to put ridiculous amounts of stone in their house. So that's why.
Well, he's kind of got a point there, Matthew. A little bit. All right. Well, dude, we appreciate you taking time out, and it's the holiday season. Have a safe holiday, and good luck to you in 2019, man.
Yeah, happy holidays, guys. Thanks for having me.
All right.
See ya.
Take care. Yeah. There you have it. That's a cool deal. Very cool deal. And sounds like he learned a lot.
He did. And I'm going to do that next year. Believe it or not, that Bass Boot Camp. That's why I was asking him these questions about the filming and about the travel.
All right, back up a minute. Let's get this thing official.
Because I've been, I've been a little out of pocket.
Dude, you've been a little edgy, to be honest with you. You've been kind of on the edge. You've been a little edgy. I know you got a lot of pressure on you right now. You got to get the big present, the big Christmas present for the girlfriend.
I already got it.
I know you've been a little edgy, but you're going to announce this big thing that's going to take place in 2019 on the show today, correct?
Yeah, I'm going to...
I don't know a whole lot about it.
No.
Because you've been really hush-hush, and I knew something was going on, but I didn't really know what was going on. So what's going on?
I'm going to be the 2019 AFTCO Bass Boot Camp recruit, so I'm going to fish 2 divisions of the Costas, and then I'm going to film all of it, including practice, including like around here, basically my life, and then it's going to be on all of AFTCO's YouTube, and we'll run it on the Bass.
So both on and off the water?
Yeah, I spent $2,000 on GoPros, Mark.
On and off the water.
On and
off. So
off.
all this madness that takes place in Tulsa and at barrel races and the monstrosity of the amount of tackle that you have trying to get ready for the events, all that stuff is going to be out there?
Yes. I honestly...
And you expect to catch fish? Let me tell you something, folks. If anybody could pull this off, it's going to be Matthew.
There's no way I can clean it up. That's the problem.
Pull this off. So it's raw, unedited?
I mean, I'm going to edit it, but it's not going to look like Johnny Z stuff, because Johnny Z stuff looks like it's like you pay the movie pass ticket to see it. You know, it's like the fly-in drone with like the slow-mo gull and then like the lure splashing in the water.
All right, so what do you think the biggest challenge for you is going to be to pull this whole thing off?
Obviously, the biggest challenge is going to be focusing on catching the fish, because it's a lot. I mean, this will go a lot better if you catch fish doing this, Mark. Let's be honest.
I agree.
But the hardest thing is going to be, and I know this because I know myself, half an hour left, day 2, need that 5th fish to catch a limit. And
I have no doubt that you will come through with that.
No, I'm not done. And the GoPro goes beep, 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 and it dies.
Dude,
I know the hardest part for me is going to be taking that 2 minutes, putting a new battery, putting a new SD card in, and getting it going. Because I've talked to Travis Manson, I talked to Brandon Polinick about this, about just how to do it the best way, and they said if it's not on film, it didn't happen. when you're supposed to be
That's
filming.
a good point.
So
it's a good point. You can talk about it all you want.
So it starts at Amistad. and it starts on January 2nd. So I'm like starting to film this stuff like now.
Okay, so we might as well go ahead and say then our very first show is going to be the Tuesday in January when you get back from your first event in Del Rio.
Yes, I'm fishing the Southwestern Division, the Central Division.
All right.
Do we need to run that video or not? I did a video to like announce it on the AFTCO.
I think you just did.
You can just go to AFTCO. So if you're listening to this on YouTube, you need to go to the AFTCO page and like and subscribe to that, because that's where all this stuff is going to be popping up on. I think I'm going to do a preview video or a practice video. Who knows what that'll include. And then a tournament video. And then the weeks that I'm not competing, because right now I think I've got, between 4 Bass Nations, a Bass Nation Regional, 6 Costas, Lord willing, the Costa Championship. I'll be fishing quite a bit, but then on the weeks off in between, I'm still going to film whatever I do when I'm not in studio with you. So I'll be traveling, because we'll be going to MLF events, right?
Yeah.
And FLW Tour events,
and
Bassmaster Elite Series events. I'll be filming one-on-ones. I'll be filming this other mystery project that you're going to announce later. So I'll be on the road probably about 200 days a year. So there you go. So big thanks to AFTCO, because they're the only reason why I'm doing this.
All right.
And we'll probably end up with quite a few AFTCO giveaways, too.
They're calling it Matt Kardashian. Kardashian.
Yeah, no, it's not like that.
All right. People are calling for Drew to fill in for you when you're gone. No, we'll see if Drew will come back.
Who else you got filling in? Don't we have
Kenyon Hill
and Brad Hallman?
Yeah, are going to fill in sometimes. That's freaking awesome.
I'm pumped,
right?
And I told you. We're doing a little bit.
I didn't know all the details. I was just like, yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And
we're doing a little bit different stuff this year, so I'll be out of pocket a lot more on the road. But
yeah,
we're going to 3 BTLs. Holy cow, I am going to be busy. I'm going to have a camera running for all of it too, though.
All right, I am. I'm trying to locate some. I can't find.
I'm not a fan of the chesty or the head cam though. I've never been a fan of that. I think you look
kind of goofy.
I think you look like a dork with those things.
Yeah.
Brandon can kind of pull it off, but he's had it on for.
Andy
he was born with it on, and Scott can pull it off. That's about it.
Andy in Indiana wants to know, how's your girlfriend gonna like you being gone so much?
Hey, as long as I'm making money, she's happy.
That's a good point. It's a great point, man.
Plus, she's a barrel racer, so that's right during the
similar lifestyle.
Yeah, middle of the rodeo season, so she'll be traveling around a bunch, doing her thing.
Have you done the Vegas rodeo thing yet?
No.
Is that like
the NFR just wrapped up?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the classic.
Is it?
Yeah, that's like the top 15 in the world at the end of the year.
All right.
She's got a chance to make the American though, which is next year, which is kind of like $1 million deal.
He also wants to know if you're going to be wearing a supplemented jersey in studio next year. No, I will not allow that.
I will say this.
I will not allow that. He will not be doing that.
No wrap truck, no wrap boat, no jersey. Just quality AFTCO clothing, Mark.
Very nice. I like it a lot, man. That is a trend. You could be a trendsetter on that. So, man, well, congrats. I know everybody's going to be excited. I think they're going to be more excited about the off-the-water stuff than the on-the-water stuff, but we'll see.
And some of the swag that we'll be giving away.
What kind of swag? Do you know yet? You have any idea?
Hats, koozies. They got some cool sweatshirts now that I'll probably be able to get a couple extras of.
Are we going to, and how are you going to give away?
I don't know. We'll figure that out later.
I didn't know if it was a show thing or if
it's just us. Like when you give away stuff, now we'll just have some AFTCO stuff to give away too.
That's freaking awesome. All right, good deal. One more show in 2019. We're going to do our final show a week from today on Thursday. We're going to have some awards.
I was thinking about this one. I've been thinking about this one a couple of weeks now. It's the year end. It's been a crazy year. Obviously, just started out with a disaster with Nick Kaler in the Costa series that just was so sad.
Yeah.
And then ended with
Chaos.
60 guys leaving the Elite Series, a dozen guys leaving FLW. There's 3 tours now. You look at went down in the middle of it. You've got the back-to-back Classic that Jordan Lee won. It's just been insane.
Yeah.
So we'll kind of cover all that, give away some awards, recap the year at a year-end show. Hopefully, you won't have school. We might run a little long in that one. So.
Let's see here, 28th. Yeah, I think we're good on that. So we'll kick that off once again at 8:30 a.m. Central Time. And then just an FYI, people, still working with Mark Zona. We're going to try and get him on our first couple of weeks that we come back in January 19. The other thing is we're going to have a new look. Not in the studio. No, the studio's still going to look the same.
Wait, us personally?
Well, the show. All right, the website. A lot of stuff's going to get updated over the next 2 weeks. I've been working on it.
I'm not going to have to transfer everything over to a new platform, am I?
No.
Because we did that last time, and it was like just 3 weeks of...
No, we're all good, dude. It's all good. Anything else, man?
No, big thanks to Harvey Horn. I'm genuinely excited to see how he does this year. Super likable guy, and I think he'll catch him a few times.
You know, I forgot to ask him, is he going to room with Hightower? Do you know?
I think they're going to run together. I think they kind of became friends at that open on the Arkansas River. And then also, big thanks to John Zolea. You think Seth was peeking out the blinds going, why is my granite guy sitting in the truck still?
That's pretty funny. All right, everybody, we are back 1 week from today. Christmas is Tuesday, and hopefully everybody's got their shopping done. I know I am one step closer after last night, but be safe. Enjoy the holidays, enjoy your family, and we will be back closing out 2018. Looking forward to 2019 next Thursday. Everybody, stay tuned.